everybody, it's Miss Daliangie. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. Today we are going to be doing science and we're going to be looking at habitats and ecosystems. The lesson objective for today, boys and girls, is I know what a habitat is and I can create a tally chart survey of the animals in my chosen habitat. What's a habitat? A habitat can be a garden, a desert, a park. What do all of these have in common? Let me think. They all have plants and animals. A habitat is where animals and plants live. Animals and plants are dependent upon each other. That means they need each other to survive. Insects like butterflies and bees help plants by pollinating their flowers. The pondweed in ponds puts oxygen into the water. Without that oxygen, fish and other pond creatures can't survive. Insects and small animals in habitats provide food for other animals. And those animals will provide food for the top predators in the habitat. A habitat where plants and animals live together is known as an ecosystem. In geography, we've been looking at how humans affect animals' habitats. Animals are becoming endangered because of what humans are doing, and we particularly looked at deforestation. So just like the animals in the Amazon rainforest, damage done by humans to any of the places where animals and plants live can stop those animals from surviving. You're going to go to a habitat and do a tally chart survey to find out how many animals you can find in that habitat. Who can remember what a tally chart is? Well done if you do, because you're going to be using a tally chart to survey the animals. Here's an example of my table. On the left of my table we have the animals that I am going to be looking for. Frequency means how often you see that animal. That's where I'm going to write my tally, in this box here. Leave the total column blank for the moment. So, let's head out and do some research. Hi Bramley, I'm in the woods. It's super muddy where I am, Bramley, so make sure you wear wellies. Okay, Year 3, I've seen my first bird, so now I have to write a tally. A tally is a line that looks like this. I've come to sit down on this log for a little rest, but it also gives me a chance to really look around and see if I can see any of these animals and concentrate. I can hear lots of birds, so I can follow the sound to find them. 2! I've just seen 2! I haven't seen any squirrels yet, or snails. I need to look more carefully maybe. Squirrels could be on the woodland floor, but they could also be up trees where they're climbing. And snails will be on a log or under a log. I might have to use my hands to move some logs to be able to see if I can find any snails. But I will make sure I put it back exactly how I found it, so I'm not disturbing the habitat. I've just seen another bird. Once I have 4 tallies, Year 3, I need to make a gate. I finally got to see a squirrel. He's just gone up that tree. Squirrels depend on the trees to be able to run away from predators and survive. Depend means they can't live without. So squirrels go really high up in the trees so they won't get caught by predators. If we cut down the trees, then the squirrels can't climb up away from predators. And that's why it's important that we keep the wildlife habitats the same. Can you see this nest up here? If we cut down all the trees, there won't be enough trees for birds to make nests. So now I'm going to go home and look at my tallies in my book. Add the totals up. I didn't get to see any snails, unfortunately. Maybe I'll have better luck in my garden. I always see snails in my garden. Next to my tallies column, I write the total. So I need to count up how many I have here. That would be 9. And here, well, I just have 1. Once you've finished your research and you come back, you're going to use your tally chart to create a bar graph. We've done this, boys and girls, in maths and science before. So I'm about to start my bar graph. You're going to need your table with your recorded tallies because your totals column is going to tell you how you're going to lay out your scale. You need a ruler and a pencil. I'm using a pen just so that the lines show up easily for you, but please use a pencil so that you can rub out if you make any mistakes. Your graph needs to start off looking like a right angle. What's going to be down here? Can anyone remember? That's where you're going to put your animals. I had bird. Remember to leave a space before you write your next animal so that when you draw your bar, there's enough space to fit that bar in. Remember, we don't like to see lots of squashed up bars. The next animal I had was a squirrel, and my last animal was a snail. Your bars should go over your animal. Before I go any further, I'm going to write a title at the top of my page to explain what this graph shows. Have a think, what is our graph trying to show? So this is the title I have come up with, and I'm going to allow you to magpie this. But remember, boys and girls, if you're copying what I'm doing, you should have no spelling mistakes because you're copying exactly what I've written down here. This is my title, Year 3. A bar graph to show animals observed in a woodland habitat. Now I need to underline it. If you choose to use this but you used a different habitat, you can just change woodland to park or garden. Don't forget your capital letters and full stops. So then I need to label here. This can just be a small sentence for animals I am looking for. Bird, squirrel, snail. Now we're going to move on to creating our scale. My highest number is 9, so I only need to go up in ones. Let's think about if your highest number is higher than 10. If it's 12, is there a quicker way you can get to 12? Yeah, you could count in twos. What number always goes here at the bottom? So now I need to go up in ones until I get to 10. I need to label what's happening here. I've labelled this how many times I saw the animals. If you think that you might find it difficult to create your own bar graph, then I have got a template on SharePoint that you can download and print. I line my ruler up with the line where 9 is. Then I join the lines together neatly. This is a little bit tricky. My ruler acted as a really good template for my bar. Can you see? Do not worry if your bars aren't touching for each of the animals. My bar for squirrel is very small, and I have to leave snail blank as I didn't see any snails. There's a big difference in how many squirrels I saw to how many birds I saw. Have a look and see what your data turns out like. So Bramley, now you know what you've got to do. I'm going to put up some ideas on SharePoint for what animals you might find in each of the habitats that you could go and visit. There are so many different habitats that you can go and visit, Bramley, but I'm going to suggest the ones that are the easiest for you to do. 1, if you've got a garden, go out in your garden. You might not see as many animals there though. 2, a wood. Have you got a wood nearby that you can pop to and have a little nature walk? 3, a park. I know that plenty of you will go to the park during lockdown because it's the only thing that we get to be able to do at the moment. So have fun at the park and also do some research while you're there. Get wrapped up, put your hats on, your gloves if you need them, and head out into the wilderness. So you need to go outside of the house. This is going to be really great for exercise and find some animals in your chosen habitat. If you're not doing your garden, you're leaving your house, you need to go with an adult. So you need to ask your parents if it's okay first. If they're happy to take you, then great. If your parents are busy, then I've got my own research that I would like you to use. I've created a table with numbers of the animals I have seen, but they're not in tallies. I need you to copy the table, but change the numbers to tallies. Here's an example. If you're unable to go out, I also visited a pond and saw 12 ducks, 4 fish and 0 frogs. Can you copy out the animals into the table? Write these numbers as tallies and copy these into the total. Once you've changed my data to tallies, I want you to use that data to create your bar graph. Have fun on your nature walk, Bramley, and I'll catch up with you to see how you got on soon.